what would you say to, you think about all the friends and family members that you have that are still in it and who have even tried to call you back into it? How do you speak to them, Michael? I know you love. He's your grandfather, right?
Right.
I mean, so how do you talk about these things with him?
Yeah, and we've had these conversations privately, so this isn't something where I'm just coming on air and something that we haven't talked about personally. So talks with my sister, my mother, my grandparents have been very difficult, and so their rebuttal is that it's not heretical. It's just a different interpretation of Scripture. And I would argue. Sorry. Should I wait for a second? A professor here that was on American Gospel, Dr. Julius Kim, talks about getting rid of everything covering up the gospel. So what the prosperity gospel does is it puts health on top of the gospel, it puts wealth on top, it puts 100% victory on top of it, puts prophetic words on top of it, fresh revelation on top of the gospel, and the gospel is buried underneath all these things that we're prioritizing that aren't important in our lives. And so I would the scripture that I always go to when I'm talking to people one-on-one is 2 Timothy 4:3 that says, "For the time will come when people will not endure sound doctrine, but having itching ears, they will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own passions and will turn away from listening to the truth and wander off into myths." And that's probably been the scariest verse that I've ever read in my life. And I would just urge them to see, are you heaping up for yourself teachers that itch your ears? Are you
just tell you what you want to hear?
Yeah, are you pursuing your own passions in your own life? Are you not weighing it against Scripture like you had talked about? And so this was the Scripture that really pulled me out. It opened my eyes to see the truth.
If the only preaching you hear, quote unquote, affirms you, is something that's agreeable to you, then it's probably not true, right? Because we're sinners.
Yeah.
How could God speaking to us be anything but searching, discerning our hearts, bringing the dark stuff out into the light of day, and then embracing us in the warmth of His love and grace?
Yeah, the way you put it, Mike, makes it sound like the big problem with the prosperity gospel is it's not good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it deals with the wrong problem. It gives us, health, wealth, and happiness, all the things that we want, that we think we really need, but it doesn't deal with sin. The true gospel is even better news.
It goes deeper.
Yeah, it goes even deeper. And that's why we want to talk about it. It's not to beat up on another theology, to say, look, there's something so much better that people are missing.
It's amazing how people will approach the way that they handle their body, their fitness level, with a give it to me straight, give me the tough stuff, give me the resistance attitude. And they go out sore and they brag about it, right? You ever hear people go, "Oh, I'm so sore from my workout yesterday."
Yeah.
And for some reason, that doesn't translate, that truth. Right. And it is scientific, biological. Resistance equals growth. If you are challenged, you will grow. If you are not challenged, you will not grow. Well, you'll grow in all the wrong ways. Bottom line, you go into church, and I want my preacher to give me the truth and nothing but the truth. I want him to call out my sin. I want him to preach the whole counsel of God. I want him to give me the resistance, the challenge that grows me in my faith.